Hey guys, it's Alex coming at you from Southern California. As you can see from some of the boxes behind me, all my, well, not all, but most of my records are packed. I'll be moving in a few weeks here, so just figured I'd come on and share 4 jazz records, 2 new ones and 2 older releases. I changed my intro and shot some footage at the beach this morning, so hope you guys enjoy that. First one I'll be talking about is one that is, at least in jazz circles, been discussed quite a bit, though I don't know if I've seen it in the VC all that much yet. It's a collaboration between Sam Shepard, aka Floating Points, out of the UK, and the great Pharoah Sanders, who I think is 84 or 85 years old right now, with the London Symphony Orchestra. And, you know, I think the artwork here, well, and the packaging, of course, is beautiful. You got a beautiful photograph of Pharoah, who I think is wheelchair bound nowadays. Really nice. And then this painting from Julie Miretu, I believe is how you might say that. I actually got to see one of her exhibits. I didn't know about her, and she had a huge exhibit here at the LA Museum of Contemporary Art, and I mean, you can't imagine the scale of these paintings is absolutely incredible. I mean, they have to be, some of them, 30, 40 feet long, you know, 10, 15 foot tall. And I believe that she's an architect originally, and then later on got into painting. But yeah, I think the art very much speaks to, you know, what Sam Shepard and Pharoah are up to here, which, you know, is, you know, Sam Shepard is actually a scientist by trade. He's a PhD in chemistry or some other field like that. So, you know, he very much has, you know, that mathematical approach at times. And, you know, at the same time, he has, going back years, he's been talking about, you know, his reverence for Pharoah Sanders specifically. I know there's some interviews where, you know, he's talking about, you know, hearing Pharoah Sanders at a club in London and just being blown away, you know, brought to tears basically by the experience. So yeah, you basically have 2 incredible musicians, incredibly talented, you know, collaborating. It's obviously a hugely ambitious, I mean, again, that just like Julie's paintings, you know, hugely ambitious and massive in scale. And so, you know, I think there has been a little bit of criticism, perhaps, you know, as to the grandiosity of the project. But in many ways, you know, a lot of this is very much minimalist in nature. I mean, I think Sam, you know, lays a really nice sort of looping electronic. I think he's on the well, he plays a ton of different electric keyboards and synthesizers here, so there's a main theme. I don't know what he's playing to create that, and then that kind of lays the base for Sanders to improvise. The playing from Sanders is very restrained but very beautiful, very meditative, I would say, and you know, reflective, as you might expect from, you know, an 84, 85-year-old, you know, Pharoah, who of course is mostly known for his, you know, fiery playing, first with Coltrane and later in his great Impulse run of records, as well as with Alice Coltrane, who's back there. So yeah, I think, you know, I don't know if people were expecting him to be, you know, that Pharoah from the 70s, but, you know, I think the playing is excellent. The collaboration works pretty well. I think maybe arguably some of the weaker movements for me are maybe 6 and 7. Oh, and I should mention, this is split up into 9 movements, 1 through 5 on side A and 6 through 9 on side B. The early movements are, very atmospheric, sort of ambient, with pharaohs, saxophone kind of taking the lead. And then the middle movement, 6, 7, the orchestra comes in. I know Sam Shepard has talked about, Stravinsky as being an influence. I think he certainly goes for the dramatic, and it's fairly, perhaps romantic type composition here from Shepard on with the orchestra. And then Sanders comes in at the end, really kind of does explore some freer, more expressive, not expressive, but maybe fiery playing towards the later movement. So yeah, overall, I don't think it's too long. I think it's just the right length. I think. I think keeping it to a single disc was a great move here. Going into maybe a double LP, maybe I think could have been a tad excessive, but yeah, can definitely recommend it. And they also did a good job making this widely available both in the U.S. and Europe. So definitely check it out. Recommended. Beautiful, beautiful package. The pressing is really nice as well. And there are some quiet moments, so it definitely deserved a good pressing. Second one, so this is a recommendation from Michael over at Notes and Tones. I think he showed this during his Jazz Tag video. And this is from Ahmed Abdul Malik, bass player, played with Randy Weston, Monk, among many others in the 60s. In fact, this photograph is from him in 1965. Like I said, he's a bass player. Now, interestingly, he arranges the music here, but he does not play any instruments. So what you have here is a quartet of Pat Thomas on piano, Joel Grip on bass, and Antonin Gerbal on drums, and a Seymour Wright on alto. So definitely a traditional type quartet. But yeah, what really stands out here is Pat Thomas on piano. And let me drop this on real quick. So yeah, Pat Thomas, again, a player I don't know much about, but he really beats the hell out of the piano for the entirety of the record, which I really appreciate. I love that percussive attacking style of guys like Cecil Taylor and Don Pullen. I wouldn't necessarily compare him to Cecil Taylor, but yeah, maybe some of the Don Pullen stuff from the 70s, from that Loft era. Certainly has that real attack on the piano that you hear. The rhythm section is excellent here with Joel Grip and Antonin Gerbal. Sort of create this looping groove, almost reminiscent of some of the Steve Reed records from the late 70s, where it's definitely on the free and outside, but with that groove element that really keeps it propelling forward. And then Seymour Wright on alto, who also kind of has these looping phrases that just a really good record, and just goes to show you that you don't need to have a hip hop and electronics and whatever to continue to explore the jazz idiom. Yeah, an old school record, but with a very forward thinking to my ears. I think excellent one. So thanks, Michael, for that recommendation. Those are widely available, at least in the U.S., from the label Astral Spirits, which I'm not sure I'm real familiar with, but yeah, they should be still available. Not expensive at all. Check it out. So next we got a double LP from 1979. And this is the trumpet and flugelhorn player Bakayla Carroll. This is called The Spoken Word. Like I said, released in 1979, recorded in 77, 78. Recorded in Berkeley, California. Beautiful, beautiful gatefold art here on the Swiss Hat Hut label. It's kind of a blind buy. I saw this online at a good price. You don't see a lot of these Hat Hut records in the U.S., so I was happy to pick this up. Also of interest was on the last track. It says prepared live electronics on the track. This is what's playing now. Double Rainbow Forest is the name of the track. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's like a field recording of like crickets in the background, and then he's playing his prepared trumpet and flugelhorn over the top. The whole thing, he's solo, playing those two instruments. There he is there, and there's a nice essay here from Julius Hemphill. But yeah, really nice. I don't always like, solo, reed or trumpet records, but yeah, this is really, really excellent. Yeah, definitely recommend that. Love that label. And finally, Don Cherry here with Latif Khan. Artwork by the great Moki Cherry, Don's wife, and a great artist in her own right. Her book, I think, already came out, and I will be showing that when I do get it. Great book about Moki Cherry that was just released, highlighting her art and her long collaboration with Don, and yeah, really cool stuff. So this is from 1982, recorded in 1978 at Studio Davout in Paris. So Latif Khan is a tabla player, not very prolific. I could only find maybe about 20 credits of his, at least on Discogs. Not sure how these two came to meet, but yeah, lovely collaboration here. Released around the same time of Don Cherry's collaboration with Ed Blackwell on ECM, which I showed on my ECM video. Here, side one is all Don Cherry, and there's an Arnott Coleman composition here on side one as well. And then side two is all Latif Khan compositions. So obviously very percussion driven, and, classic, just beautiful stuff from Don Cherry, bringing in all of the threads of world music. Here, Don plays the trumpet, keyboards, gong, bamboo flute, the douceau, and some vocals as well from Don. Yeah, just glad to finally pick this up. It took me quite a while to find one. They're not super hard to find. There were. This is a U.S. pressing, actually, and there is a European pressing that's much harder to find. But yeah, definitely highly recommend this one if you like that great, percussive you know, African and Eastern influenced Don Cherry sound from the late 70s and early 80s. So yeah, that's all I had for you guys. I hope everybody's well, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.